In a shocking turn of events, Expedition Bigfoot has been abruptly canceled following a harrowing incident that has rocked the community and sent shockwaves through the world of cryptid investigation. "I swear I just heard something massive run right past me, but I can't see anything," says one team member as the night fills with unsettling sounds. In this video, we'll dive deep into the chilling details of the tragedy that unfolded during filming and explore how it halted the team's relentless search for the legendary creature. Prepare for exclusive behind-the-scenes footage and insights that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The team's investigation takes them to a remote, eerie location where strange sounds, like a woman screaming, have been recorded in the dead of night. These disturbing noises serve as a grim warning, suggesting this area could be far more than dangerous. It could be a kill zone. As they search the area, they encounter an unnerving mystery. A once distinctive tree, known for something unusual hanging from its branches, now sits completely bare. The unexplained disappearance of this object has only amplified the team's stress and urgency. Then, one team member begins to feel an overwhelming sense of dread, as though someone or something unseen is trying to make contact, attempting a form of silent communication beyond human perception. But the most terrifying discovery is yet to come. Freshly scattered bones are found nearby, leaving the team trembling with fear. Is this a warning, or a glimpse into something far darker lurking in the wilderness? Stay with us as we uncover the untold story behind the chaos that led to Expedition Bigfoot's shocking cancellation. The team's discovery of freshly scattered bones has sent a jolt of fear through the crew, intensifying the sense that they're venturing into an environment filled with hidden dangers. Mireya, the seasoned researcher leading the expedition, finds herself caught between excitement and trepidation. The signs they've been tracking hint at something bigger, a hidden pattern that could reshape everything they thought they knew about Bigfoot. Driven by recent discoveries, Mireya has developed a bold new theory: Bigfoot might engage in seasonal migration. This groundbreaking idea could explain the strange, recurring patterns the team has observed. Alongside her longtime colleague Russell, Mireya embarks on an investigation that digs deeper into the very nature of these elusive creatures. Together, they study the surrounding terrain and environmental factors, looking for clues that might suggest Bigfoot's need to move across vast territories. The researchers hypothesize that migration could be crucial for Bigfoot's survival, much like it is for other large, intelligent species. They suggest that by traveling, Bigfoot would be able to find new hunting grounds, avoid overpopulated areas, and provide for its young in safer, more resource-rich environments. They theorize that these migrations are not random but instead align with cycles of food scarcity and seasonal changes, like the movement patterns of wolves, bears, and even ancient human tribes. Such a migration could explain why sightings often surge in specific areas, only to disappear mysteriously as if the creature had simply vanished. Russell takes this idea further, theorizing that if Bigfoot does indeed migrate, it might mean there are family groups or even whole generations of Bigfoot in different regions. He believes they could have relocated south in response to diminishing food resources in their current territory. The idea that Bigfoot might travel with kin, young, elders, even generations of extended family is a game changer, suggesting a complex social structure previously unseen in the search for Bigfoot. As the team studies tracks and other signs in the forest, each clue becomes a piece of a larger puzzle. They find strange marks on trees that could serve as territorial markers, possibly even warnings or guides left for other members of the species. The bones scattered near their camp, initially alarming, might signify not only the presence of these creatures but a hunting ground or pathway along their migratory route. With every passing day, the team edges closer to a breakthrough, hoping to capture evidence that will prove Bigfoot's existence and reveal its possible migratory patterns. But with the unsettling sense of being watched, the dangers of the wilderness, and the mounting risk of confrontation with a powerful unknown, the stakes are higher than ever. Could this expedition, and the daring hypothesis of a Bigfoot migration, finally unravel one of the greatest mysteries of our time? The recent discoveries have opened up a groundbreaking possibility. The area could be a breeding ground for Bigfoot. If this theory is correct, it means Bigfoot might not only migrate but relocate seasonally to find safe, resource-rich locations ideal for raising offspring. This idea gains traction as the team stumbles upon an astonishing find, a collection of nests deep within the forest. The sight leaves them in awe and wonder, for it may represent one of the most significant pieces of evidence yet uncovered. These nests aren't just random formations. Their construction suggests intentional design and purpose, indicating Bigfoot may indeed use this region as a safe haven for its young. Examining the nests closely, the team notes a variety of sizes, leading them to suspect both adult and juvenile Bigfoot are present. Smaller nests, likely constructed for young offspring, support the notion that the area could be a breeding location, where new generations of Bigfoot are nurtured and protected. As the researchers delve deeper, they realize the discovery of nests could provide unparalleled insight into Bigfoot's behavioral patterns, particularly in terms of social structure and family dynamics. If Bigfoot indeed has a seasonal breeding cycle, it could explain their need to seek out isolated, secure locations like this one. These findings also lend credence to the theory that Bigfoot is not a solitary creature, but possibly part of a family unit, or even an extended community. Each new detail adds layers to the researchers' understanding. They speculate that the region's dense vegetation, ample food supply, and strategic isolation make it an ideal setting not only for migration but also for breeding, a dual purpose that underscores its importance to the species' survival. Russell and Mireya begin to consider that they may be witnessing more than just a glimpse into Bigfoot's life. They may be uncovering an essential element of its long-term survival strategy. The team, now filled with a renewed sense of purpose, documents every aspect of the nests. Their excitement builds as they realize the implications of their findings. This region may hold the key to ensuring the survival of a new generation of Bigfoot. With the mystery deepening and their investigation intensifying, they're more committed than ever to uncovering the truth about this elusive creature, a pursuit that could finally solve one of the greatest mysteries of the wilderness. The team is growing increasingly curious about whether Bigfoot specifically travels to this area to reproduce. Russell suggests that if a species is seeking both food and a safe environment for raising young, this location, with its dense forest, natural cover, and ample resources, would be ideal. They begin to theorize that Bigfoot may use this region as a seasonal breeding habitat, with migration routes that naturally lead to it. In this way, Bigfoot's life cycle and migration path might be intertwined with specific habitats crucial for its survival and successful reproduction. As the team studies the surroundings, they gain a richer understanding of how Bigfoot might be connected to its environment. This dense, resource-filled area could serve as a sanctuary, allowing Bigfoot to rear its young under optimal conditions. The abundance of food, natural protection from predators, and seclusion from human interference make it the perfect place for a species to thrive, especially if it's raising a new generation. Intrigued by an earlier finding, Russell revisits a site where animal skin had once been seen hanging high from a tree branch, nearly 20 feet up, a height difficult to reach without disturbing any branches. As he approaches, he realizes that the skin, which had been a critical clue, is now gone. The tree itself appears untouched, without any damage to indicate that the skin fell naturally or was removed by animals. This mysterious absence adds a chilling dimension to the investigation, as the skin was once an eerie marker of the creature's presence. Russell recalls the site vividly, feeling the unsettling emptiness now that the clue has vanished. The tree looks just like it always has, he says. But the skin, whatever it was, is completely gone. His voice carries a mixture of wonder and caution, as he realizes they may be dealing with a creature far more intelligent and aware than previously assumed. This unexplained disappearance intensifies the team's sense of urgency and fuels their resolve to continue their investigation. They begin to speculate, could Bigfoot have taken it down as a deliberate act, perhaps even to avoid detection? The incident raises questions not just about Bigfoot's physical abilities, but its possible awareness of human interference and its desire to protect its territory. With each new discovery, the team delves deeper into the mystery, piecing together an understanding of how Bigfoot's migration, habitat selection, and behavioral patterns might be essential to its survival strategy. This investigation has brought them closer than ever to understanding the intricate life of Bigfoot, hinting at a complex and elusive species that has adapted remarkably to its environment. Russell gazes at the empty tree, murmuring, "Whatever it was, it's gone." The mysterious disappearance leaves the team with a flood of questions. Had the creature they were tracking come back to retrieve the skin? Was it intentionally removing traces of its presence? And how could it have vanished without leaving a single clue? Russell and his team search every inch of the area, but there's no evidence of what happened to the skin, or even any indication it was ever there. The meticulous way it was removed suggests purpose, as though the creature they're tracking is always one step ahead, evading their every move. As they press on, the forest grows darker and the atmosphere heavier, filling the team with a creeping sense of dread. The air seems charged, and in the distance, they hear unsettling sounds, faint footsteps, leaves rustling, and an eerie distant wailing that almost resembles a scream. The noises are faint but constant, as if something is tracking their every move without making itself known. Russell feels his nerves begin to fray, the growing unease pressing in on him. Every sound feels like a warning. Shadows shift at the edge of their vision, and it becomes clear that something is watching them, stalking them silently. Russell's sense of urgency intensifies, and he admits, "Whatever it is, it's moving far faster than I can in this jungle." The team begins to feel less like hunters and more like the hunted, aware that the dense forest hinders their movement, while the creature seems unfazed, gliding through the wilderness with ease. Gradually, the sounds recede, fading into the forest depths until all that remains is silence. The team stands in the darkness, a sense of foreboding lingering in the air. They can't shake the feeling that they've come close to something extraordinary and deeply dangerous. This encounter leaves them with more questions than answers, but one thing is clear: whatever they're chasing isn't just elusive, it's intelligent, aware of their presence, and perhaps even playing a game of its own. Gathered around in the thickening darkness, the team exchanges tense glances as they discuss the unsettling events they've encountered. The missing animal skin, the eerie sounds, and the unsettling presence shadowing their every move all point to a single conclusion: Bigfoot. Russell recalls conversations with a few local experts who had hinted at specific behaviors they believe Bigfoot exhibits, including the ability to hang heavy objects high in trees as markers or warnings. Yet the mystery of the skin's disappearance without a trace only intensifies their sense of vulnerability. How could something so heavy have been placed so high, and then vanish without disturbing a single branch? As they weigh each clue, the team realizes they might be dealing with a creature far more intelligent and possibly dangerous than they initially thought. Russell voices what everyone else is feeling. "We assumed this thing would make mistakes, leave tracks, but it's evading us at every turn, like it knows exactly how to stay hidden." Their earlier confidence has been replaced with a wary respect for an adversary that seems to be watching their every move. Determined to press on despite the escalating tension, they resume tracking. As they follow a path around a fallen tree, they come upon a startling sight: an abandoned house hidden deep within the forest. Though clearly constructed in the 1940s or 1950s, the building is astonishingly well preserved. Dust covers the windows, and the paint has begun to peel, but structurally it looks as though it could still withstand the elements. The house feels like an intrusion, a fragment of another time left to decay in the heart of the forest. Its eeriness only deepens the unsettling atmosphere, as the group realizes they may not be the only ones who have ventured into this domain. Stepping cautiously inside, they find remnants of a life long abandoned, an old chair, rusted kitchenware, and a wood stove covered in cobwebs. The air is thick with silence, yet it feels like something unseen is lingering, waiting. With every step, their awareness grows sharper, their senses alert to even the faintest sound. They've come face to face with the past, and it seems that whatever they're tracking might have been here long before them, marking territory not just in the wilderness, but within spaces humans once called home. As they venture deeper, they're reminded that they may not be the first or last to cross paths with this mysterious entity. The cabin, though worn with age, is remarkably intact, the walls, roof, and floor all standing solidly despite years of abandonment. The team is left wondering who built this remote structure and why it was left behind in such a desolate location. As they inspect the place, theories surface. Did something drive its inhabitants away? Or was there a tragedy that left it uninhabited, frozen in time? The cabin adds a whole new layer of mystery to their investigation, and, as night falls, they decide it might offer their best chance at shelter from the elements and any lurking dangers in the woods. However, the decision to spend the night there is fraught with anxiety. The eerie atmosphere heightens their apprehension, yet they conclude that staying inside will offer better protection than sleeping under the open sky. They choose a room with one entryway, positioning themselves with their backs to the walls and keeping a clear view of the door, determined to stay on high alert. With their makeshift sleeping arrangements ready, the team discusses the unknown threats that might be waiting outside. They understand the risks, knowing they are in the domain of something far more powerful and potentially hostile. As the night drags on, every creak of the old wood and rustle of leaves outside sends fresh waves of tension through the group. The dark, close quarters of the cabin only amplify their unease, and they struggle to maintain a state of heightened vigilance, speaking in hushed tones as they debate the possible dangers surrounding them. Then, suddenly, a loud bang pierces the stillness, tearing through the quiet and sending their hearts racing. The sound is unnervingly close, reverberating through the wooden walls. The team freezes, straining their ears to catch any further movement, barely daring to breathe. In the dim light, every shadow seems to grow longer, and the once silent cabin now feels alive with unseen threats. They glance at each other, their expressions a mix of fear and determination. They know that whatever caused the bang is still out there, or perhaps closer than they'd like to believe. Through the tension, one thing is clear. They are no longer just tracking something mysterious. They are now the ones being hunted. The deafening bang jerks the team out of their restless sleep. Hearts pounding, they quickly realize that a piece of wood has been forced out of one of the cabin's windows. Adrenaline surges as they search for the source of the disturbance, only to be met with an unsettling realization. Something unseen is lurking just beyond the walls, observing them, or worse, posing an imminent threat. The cabin, once a safe refuge, now feels like a trap, its walls closing in with a sense of lurking malevolence. The presence they cannot see weighs heavily on them, amplifying the darkness around them and sending chills through the group. Russell and his team exchange glances, their expressions mirroring a shared, dawning fear. Whatever is outside is not only aware of their presence, but might even be toying with them. As the night deepens, they sense an intelligence, something calculating, brilliant and deadly, staying just out of reach, watching and waiting, several steps ahead of their every move. Despite their determination to uncover the truth behind the bizarre occurrences, the team's resolve begins to waver, tinged with a gnawing sense of dread. Russell, however, steels himself. He knows they are close to something extraordinary, and despite the mounting danger, he feels compelled to push forward. Yet as they plan their next move, it becomes clear that they're not the only hunters in these woods. They're also being hunted. Realizing the cabin offers no real safety, they make the swift decision to abandon it. Gathering their equipment, they pack quickly, nerves on edge as they prepare to leave. As they step out into the cold night air, a fresh wave of relief washes over them, but they remain hyper-aware, the sensation of being watched intensifying with every step. The forest feels alive with unseen eyes, and though they are free from the cabin, they know that whatever is out there is still close, shadowing their every move. With every crunch of leaves and rustle of branches, they move forward, alert and prepared, the thrill of the unknown mingling with an ever-present sense of danger. As Russell reflected on the night's unsettling events outside the cabin, his thoughts turned to the countless pieces of evidence he'd gathered over his years in the field. The footprint sightings, scattered tracks, and of course, his famous video. Yet, despite his experience, he couldn't shake the unease that the cramped cabin had inspired. It felt vulnerable, an easy place for something large and potentially dangerous to corner them. Russell was certain that their investigation would be safer and more productive in an open area, where they could avoid potential ambushes. Just then, the team noticed a strange, pungent smell hanging in the air. As they attempted to take readings, their handheld equipment and the nearby drone began to malfunction, displaying readings well outside normal parameters. The fluctuations convinced them they had stumbled upon a location charged with something unique, something that defied easy explanation. Sensing this might be a pivotal moment, Ronnie encouraged the group to persevere and analyze the data, pointing out the likely proximity of whatever had left the scent lingering in the air. Following the scent trail deeper into the woods, the squad remained tense, every sound amplifying their nerves. Suddenly, a chilling sound drifted through the trees, a noise resembling a woman screaming, echoing near a lake where an abandoned building site lay hidden in the shadows. The eerie, agonizing sound added an overwhelming sense of dread, casting an oppressive silence over the group as they strained to listen, fear rippling through them. Gathering their courage, they exchanged theories, debating whether these sounds and the strange signals could be connected to Bigfoot's rumored presence. The inexplicable noise and the palpable hostility in the air led them to wonder if they were truly dealing with something beyond the ordinary. The ominous atmosphere left them uneasy, knowing that whatever creature lurked here was more than just elusive. It was potentially as dangerous as it was intelligent. The team's realization that they had ventured deep into a predator's territory struck them with full force. The mountain, they now understood, wasn't just a place of mystery. It was a dangerous living habitat for something far more lethal. As the video concluded, the gravity of their situation was clear. They were no longer just observing, they were intruding. Russell and his team emphasized the importance of remaining cautious, urging others to be aware of the potential dangers lurking in the woods. What they had encountered so far was just the beginning, and their understanding of these threats was crucial for their survival. Determined to push forward, Russell ventured further into the forest. It wasn't long before he stumbled upon something truly horrifying, a deer's leg, half buried in the weeds and surrounded by swarming flies. The air was thick with the stench of decomposition, a clear sign of a fresh kill. The sight was disturbing, and the implications were chilling. As Russell examined the grisly discovery, he realized this wasn't just an isolated incident. It was part of something larger, something more sinister. The area around him bore a striking resemblance to the hunting grounds depicted in the legendary Sierra sound recordings from the 1970s, often hailed as the gold standard for evidence of Bigfoot's existence. Rib cages, spines, and skulls of deer were scattered across the forest floor, revealing a clear predator's feeding zone, a kill zone. It became evident that this place was not just a home to the creature they were hunting, it was its domain, a location where it fed and hunted. The bones, old and new, were a testament to the ongoing activity in the area. The team had discovered a hunter's territory, one that they were now navigating cautiously. Russell and his colleagues counted 7 or 8 animal corpses, a collection of remains that made the forest feel less like a natural environment and more like a predator's dining table. The discovery was both uncomfortable and thought-provoking. Never before had they encountered such a gruesome scene. As they continued their investigation, the contrast between the horror of the sight and their drive to uncover the truth became more pronounced. The bones, some freshly broken, others weathered with time, indicated that this was a busy hunting ground, a place where the predator's territory extended far beyond the immediate area. With every step they took, the team was reminded of the risks they were facing. They were no longer just explorers, they were intruders in a predator's home. Their mission felt increasingly like a dangerous game of cat and mouse. The eerie stillness of the woods felt oppressive, as if the forest itself were watching them. The investigation reached its conclusion for now, but the questions remained. Russell and his team knew this was far from over. Future episodes would return to this site, revisiting the mystery and continuing their search for answers. As the darkness of night descended, the air grew thick with tension. The group's unease was palpable. Fear of encountering a creature as elusive and dangerous as Bigfoot, mixed with the ever-present anxiety of what they might stumble upon next. The possibility of encountering a protective mother grizzly bear guarding her cubs only heightened the sense of impending danger. But the real terror lay in what they were hunting for: Bigfoot, the creature that had eluded them for so long. Their search led them deeper into the dense underbrush, where they found more broken branches. The break patterns were distinct, suggesting a significant event had occurred in the region recently. Their curiosity, tempered by terror, conflicted as they tried to decipher what had caused these anomalies. Were they witnessing signs of Bigfoot's movement? Or was something else at play in this dark, unsettling wilderness? As the tension mounted, the team pressed on, each step bringing them closer to unraveling the mystery, but also closer to the unknown dangers that awaited them in the depths of the forest. As the team neared the river, memories of previous discoveries stirred their anticipation. One of the most notable was a footprint, about 13 inches long, found by a fisherman in the area, evidence that Bigfoot might have passed through this very spot. The peaceful, tranquil sound of the river seemed at odds with the chaos of the events unfolding around them, creating an unsettling contrast that deepened their unease. The quietness of the scene was almost more disturbing than the noise, a silence that felt as though something was watching, waiting, just out of sight. The team recalled the accounts of others who had reported seeing Sasquatch in the area, further fueling their excitement and apprehension. With the many places where evasive creatures like Bigfoot could hide, the group knew they had to be prepared for anything. But nothing could have prepared them for the sound that broke the silence, a loud, distinct tree knock echoing across the jungle. The sound was unmistakable, a signal often associated with Bigfoot sightings. Tree knocks are one of the most common auditory clues in Bigfoot encounters, often marking the beginning of a sighting or a close encounter. The sudden intensity of the noise heightened the group's adrenaline, pushing them into action. The scenario had shifted. What was once a tranquil exploration now felt like a hunt, and the team's focus intensified. In a quiet, methodical manner, The team moved cautiously, scanning the environment for signs of movement. The tension was palpable, as each step brought them closer to an unknown presence, something elusive and potentially dangerous. As they waited, thermal imaging was activated, searching for any heat signatures that might indicate the presence of life nearby. Minutes later, the thermal scanner detected distant motion, a faint but clear sign that something was moving in the woods. Even in the darkness, the eye shine of an animal or creature sparkled brightly on the thermal readings, drawing the team's attention. Every detail was scrutinized. The quiet steps and hushed breaths of the team only added to the suspense. They knew they were on the edge of a breakthrough, but the unknown nature of what was ahead kept their nerves taut. With the stress mounting and the unknown drawing ever closer, the team prepared themselves for whatever might come next. The weight of their task, mixed with the ever-present danger, made each step an intense moment of both curiosity and caution. They were entering the most uncertain part of their investigation, where anything could happen, and the answers they were seeking might be just within reach.